Hello everyone, this is John Galt speaking, here with a quick but slow, weird but awesome live stream for you guys. So some of you guys know that, I sell things on the Unreal Engine marketplace. And so at some point, they broke my stuff, okay? And so I want to cover the strange weirdness that goes on with this engine, okay? And I get asked all the time what I think about Unreal Engine 5. Do I like it? Do I hate it? What's good about it? What's bad about it? And I'm of the firm belief that I hate all the engine versions equally. Okay? And I tell you guys a lot that my most favorite engine version is Unreal Engine 4 4.15. Okay? And, just to kind of show you guys here, I uninstalled a bunch of engine versions the other day. And so now I only have 4.15, my favorite engine version. I have 4.19 for some reason. And now I have the most current, which is 5.2. And so one of the reasons that I love Unreal Engine 4.15.3 is because every single engine version after this version, the multiplayer started having a lot of weird issues. And you guys know that the majority of the stuff I do is multiplayer, Blueprint multiplayer, specifically Steam multiplayer, And so listen servers. And so that's what my niche is. That's what I'm unique about. All my stuff that I sell and all the tutorials and everything that I've ever done, including my Udemy tutorials, all revolve around Steam. Okay. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's easy to use. It's easy to test. It's easy to create a menu system for. And now you're not going to do 100v100 multiplayer with it. But, in the development phase of your projects, when you're prototyping, doing a research and development, all that kind of stuff, you don't want to invest a ton of money in this stuff. You just want something to test an idea and see if it works. And Steam platform is free and it's easy to use. So that's why I use it. And now as far as the rest of the engine versions go, I hate them all equally. After 4.15, I hate them all equally. Some I hate worse than others, but for the most part, they all suck, in my personal opinion, because of the things that are changed about multiplayer, specifically the multiplayer that I use, which is the Steam Listen Server stuff, okay? So, I mean, this video is going to be a lot longer than what it should be, because I should just show you guys the fix for this, okay? But I want to explain, a lot of people have emailed me, they've texted me, they've asked for support on my products, and they're threatening me with, oh, well, I'm going to report you to Epic if you don't get this problem. You know how people are, right? You guys all know how people are. Oh, you mean I spent $6 on this template and now it don't work? Well, screw you, go to hell, die in a ditch, and I'm reporting you to Epic, and I hope they take all your stuff off the market, right? Those guys. So they finally have annoyed me enough that I wanted to investigate what in the actual hell is wrong causing my products not to work, okay? And so I did that. For weeks now, I've been investigating this, and I finally found what I think is a fix for it. But before we get to the fix, I want to demonstrate, you guys, what kind of bullshit goes on behind the scenes in Epic every time they do a stupid engine update. So in other words, when they go from 4.15 to 4.16, they do a lot of things in the background that people don't even realize that they did, okay? And so something happened in version 4.27, I believe, that they did that caused every single Steam product to break. Not just mine, guys. Every fucking one of them. Okay? Okay, so let's get on with this process here. So going back to my profile, which is in the on my YouTube page, you guys can find every single product that I sell. They're all awesome projects, particularly these ones that are only $6, because you get a whole lot of stuff for that $6, which after they broke my stuff, okay, it was pretty much worthless. Every single one of these things was pretty much worthless. So let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? So when you click up one of my products here and you come down here, you're going to see that I put a note here, right here. It says, note, as of this time, Epic has broken Steam multiplayer in 4.27.2 and 5. So it may even be 4.26, guys. I'm not 100% sure, because I honestly got tired of trying to figure out which engine version that they actually broke it in. But I didn't start getting reports that it was broken until Unreal Engine 5 came out, okay? So I've been chasing this since Unreal Engine 5, trying to figure out what they did that caused this to break. So from my products page here, if you click this bug report here, you're going to see that it actually takes you to a bug report, okay? And this is exactly what was happening. Steam Sessions fails to create when using the create session node, okay? Now, I didn't create this bug report, just so you guys know. Somebody else did this. This bug report was posted long before anybody ever contacted me about my products not working and suffering from this same bug, okay? So this person right here, you can see they said 4.26.2 binary, no issue creating a session, okay? So apparently it worked in 4.26. Then when 4.27.1 came out, binary, no issue creating a session if you convert a previously working 4.26.2 project. So in other words, you had to create a 4.26.2 project, then you upgraded it from 4.26 to 4.27, and it would work. But if you straight up created a 4.27.1, it failed right here, okay? So the person that submitted this bug report went through and actually told Epic, okay? Told Epic step by step how to recreate this bug, okay? And right here's all the information about how it happened and all this stuff. So from 4.27 forward, people have been reporting this bug, okay? And so this was created, the bug report was created on November 30th, 2021. And it says that they resolved it March the 1st of 2023. And then they updated it March the 6th of 2023. And they put a target fix now here of 5.3, which we're on 5.2 now. And it says that they cannot reproduce this. Following these steps, they were unable to recreate this bug. So here's the deal. Epic can't figure out what's broke. Okay? That's the problem. Which means if they can't figure out what's broke, obviously they're not going to fix it. And that is exactly why this bug has been in the works since November 30th of 2021. Okay? And they say they're going to fix it in 5.3. Well, they said 5.1 they were going to fix it. They didn't fix it. They said 5.2 they were going to fix it. They didn't fix it. They say 5.3 they're going to fix it. They didn't fix it. And as a matter of fact, they changed it status to cannot reproduce. So the only thing that we can do as developers, and particularly content creators, aka me, who try to sell stuff and make a little money extra by doing these sales on their marketplace, I have no choice but to try to figure out what the hell they broke and try to give a fix for it myself. Okay? So I just wanted to show you guys that this is not something that's unique to me. So for all you people that were saying, oh, it's because my stuff is no good and blah, blah, it's not me. Okay. Obviously. So you guys cool your tits, calm down, take a deep breath. Okay. Learn how to code, bruh. Learn how to bug hunt, bruh. Learn how to troubleshoot, bruh. And we'll get through this together. Okay. But you guys don't need to be assholes about it. Okay. So now, and so that happens with every single one of these products I sell. The exact same thing happens. So we're going to run through. First, I'm going to show you guys a perfectly working version. Then we're going to show you a perfectly broken version. And then I'm going to show you guys what I did to actually get it to actually work. Okay. So if you guys don't like troubleshooting and trying to figure out what's broke, move along. Okay. But for those of you guys who like to actually learn how this stuff works, stick around and I'll show you guys a little bit of the mentality of how I try to get to the root of what in the hell is actually wrong with something. Okay. So I actually need to talk about one more thing. Okay. So on my YouTube page, there are lots of videos on here, but in particular, I have a playlist here called Unreal Engine Marketplace Tutorials for my assets. So in this playlist, which nobody watches, by the way, even the people who buy my products, they don't watch these tutorials because if they did, a lot of the problems that they have or questions that they have would be answered. Now, you know, look, I'm not trying to be a dick about anything here, even though I may come off as that. I don't try to be that way. But guys, in the world that we live in, everybody is so used to instant gratification. They're so used to having every little thing that they need answered, and all. They don't read anymore, right? Like they don't read instructions. They, you know, when you buy something from IKEA, you throw the damn instructions away and try to put it together. And then you call up IKEA raising every sort of hell imaginable because you can't get your stupid desk put together. When if you'd have read the damn directions, you wouldn't have had to call them. Okay. So it's kind of the same thing with game dev, bruh. People just, they don't read, they don't listen, they don't watch video. Oh, hell, I'm going to have to watch an hour video. Well, fuck that. I ain't doing that. But yet they'll go spend all day watching stupid cat videos on YouTube. Okay. So yes, I do get a little aggravated about some of this stuff. So I have one video here specifically called Tutorial Packaging and Testing Any of My Templates. That means any, right? That means all 4 of the products that I sell on the marketplace. This video is applicable to those. So you should watch this, right? Because there's a lot of little nuances that go behind packaging projects and also behind how, okay, so now I've got it packaged. I want to host up a game and have a couple of my buddies come join me, and we're going to run around in this little template that I've bought here and shoot at each other and test it out and see how it works. You got to watch this video, okay? And I'm not going to go through all that. You got to watch this video. So find it, live it, learn it, love it, okay? Okay. Now we can actually move on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of my templates fresh off the marketplace so that you guys can see that I'm not doing any kind of trickery. Okay. So we're going to use one of my small ones, one of my $6 templates, by the way, the simple capture the flag template, $6. You should buy this. Okay. If you don't already own it, you should buy this. So I'm going to create a project. And I'm going to create it in my most favorite engine version, which is 4.15.3. And we're going to say go. And we're going to open this project up. How about now? 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 I sure do rant a lot, don't I? You guys miss me making videos all the time where all I did was raise hell for 2 hours on a live stream. You guys miss that? Lord, guys, my nerves really are shot anymore, just so you know. So this is the little template, and all we're going to do is package this thing, right? This is how good my stuff is. All we have to do is package it. Now we're going to go up here to File, and we're going to say Package Project, and all my stuff only works for Windows. It's only tested for Windows 64. Okay, that don't mean it won't work with this other stuff. That just means I don't test it for that stuff. That's you guys' job, not mine. Now we're going to package it for Windows 64, and we're going to slap the packaged version on my desktop. And then we're going to sit here and we're going to wait. Okay. And so, yeah, go. It takes a little while here, so, you know. Cue the Jeopardy music. Let me get me a drink here. And hello, Asman. I do see you over in chat. What's happening? And by the way, I just got done finding this morning. So that's why there hasn't been a video about how to fix this yet. I've been chasing this ever since Unreal Engine 5 came out. And Epic is useless, right? Obviously, Epic's useless. People reported it. They showed them how to recreate it. They couldn't fix it. They ain't going to fix it. They said they was going to fix it. You guys know the drill. Okay. So we just got done packaging here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down, and we're going to fire up Steam. Okay. Because you do watch that video, guys, because I'm not going through all this stuff. We have 2 files here. One file here that we need to place inside this. Wait, why did I move that over here? I don't know. Does that go here? Where the hell did I have that? Now I'm going to flip out over that because of OCD, but whatever. I think it was right here. So we're going to copy this text file here, and we're going to say copy, and then we're going to open this up. We're going to go in this folder. We're going to go in this folder and then this one, and we're simply going to paste that file in here. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to open this. We're going to run it. And we're going to go to multiplayer, and we're going to go to host game, and we're going to hit host game. And wait a minute. Actually, let me start this over. See, it's been so long since I've done this. All right. So, oh, I didn't open Steam yet. Okay. So yes, you got to open Steam for this to work. So you got to have your Steam overlay running in the background, just like this. And then you open this. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, now watch right down here. Do you see this? That means that you are connected to the Steam community. So you can press Shift and Tab, and it brings up your little overlay thingamajig. Now, you go to multiplayer, host game, and you can change your map and all that, and you just hit host game, and voila. See? No errors, no huss, no fuss. And I even put in, if you press the P key, you can see that it's got a player list in here, and you can see that it's actually showing my Steam name, right? So don't you guys be spamming me up on Steam. Right there it is. That's how I know I'm connected to Steam. Now, if someone else had a version of this packaged build, in other words, if I zip this up and send it to, you know, my buddy, and he follows the rules that are laid out in that video that I told you guys you should watch if you haven't, he could find this server, connect, and join either of these teams, and he would be in here with me, right? And we could run around and capture the flag till the cows come home, okay? Okay. And also for the map travel, right? So a lot of people say, yeah, your map travel don't work either, asshole. Okay, so look, we're on test map 1 right here. See? And then if you hit the tab button here, you're going to see that you can actually change the map. So we're going to go to map 2 and hit travel to map. Then we got to repick a team. Oh, look at that. Imagine that. We're on test map 2 now. And then we can go right back to test map 1. So see there, map travel does work. It doesn't work in the editor. And I say that in the videos about using those products, right? As a matter of damn fact, I think that if you even read the instructions in the damn level, it says clearly, map travel only works in a standalone or packaged builds. That's an Epic thing, that ain't a me thing, right? It's never worked in the editor. I don't know why. I didn't build the engine. Okay, but it does work in my products if you follow the rules, if you read the instructions, okay? All right, so there you have it. It works perfectly fine. The Steam part works perfectly fine in Unreal Engine 4.15.3. Perfect. All right, we're going to hit the tab button and quit. Now, see, I cannot connect another server, right? So before I go on, let me just say this. So how do you know it's working? Well, I told you guys, if you hit the P key, you can see it's got my Steam name listed in here. And if I wasn't connected to Steam, it would have my computer's name in here. Okay? Okay? And just to prove that, I'll show you guys that. So if I hit the tab button and hit quit, and I disconnect my Steam, right? So I shut down Steam, and I run this without Steam in the background, and I hit multiplayer, host game, and host game, and I hit the P key again. Oh, look at that. It's my computer's name. Now, why is that? Well, it's because I'm not connected to Steam. Now, if you want to test it this way, you can. You know what? I hate repeating all this stuff. It's in those other videos, assholes. Right? So I'm going to fire this up again. And I'm going to hit multiplayer, and this time I'm going to hit find games. This brings up where you can search. And if I was on Steam and someone had a copy of this, it would find this server. And they could click it, and they would be able to join into the same server that I'm in. The difference being that it would have my Steam name above my head, and it would have their Steam name above their head. Right? See? It's got the computer name. The last 5 digits are different. See how that one says F5497? And this one is 4BBFB, right? So there you go. That's how you can test it without Steam. You have to open another version of it. But if you want to test it with Steam, you have to zip that up. Let me show you what I'm talking about zipping up. You have to zip this up and send it to whoever you want to join you. And there's still rules, right? So you have to have Steam running in the background. You have to make sure you guys are both near each other, or you have to set your servers to be near each other. It's in that other video. Go watch it. Now, I'm going to delete this, and we're going to move this along here. All right, so let's go delete the project, just so you guys can see I'm not doing trickery here. All right, delete, empty, gone. Okay. Now what we're going to do, I mean, I could show you guys that it works in 4.19. If I had all the engine versions, I could show you that it works in every single one until you get to 4.26 point whatever that is, right? So it broke there. So that means in 4.26.2, it's broke. 4.27, it's broke. 4.28, 29, 5, 5.1, 5.2. It's broken all of them. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what's broke. So if I hit this again, and this time around, I'm going to create one in the newest engine version, which is 5.2, and we're going to hit create. and go. And now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to open this project and we're going to package it. And I'm going to point out some things that are already different compared to the old one, the old version of this. Okay, so one thing is it pops up these messages, which I just ignore, by the way. Now to package the build, right, you don't go to here anymore. You go to here, right? Platforms. And you package for Windows, and we're going to say package project. And we're going to put this on the desktop. And we're going to show output log. Now, I'm going to start pointing out some things that are different. It's already talking about a bunch of deprecated stuff up here. See, deprecation. Any key blacklist, which is a config key in section blah, 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 right? So it's already got some stuff that's deprecated from the old versions right here. And you can see it's talking about it. Click to open file found deprecated INI section, blah, 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 blah. Search for any key blacklist and replaced with any key deny list. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. Any key blacklist and replace it with any key deny list. So they broke a bunch of shit just because they changed one thing from it saying any key blacklist to any key deny list. So that means if I wanted to fix this and make these errors go away, I would have to go into my any file and change everywhere it says blacklist to deny list. Not a big deal. I could fix it. But here's the thing. They changed it simply because it says blacklist, and blacklist is apparently racist, right? And so they changed it to deny list. Now, you guys might be sitting there thinking, John Galt, you're full of shit. They didn't change it from blacklist to deny list, right? They didn't change it from blacklist to deny list because somebody was black at Unreal and said, hey, you shouldn't be calling that blacklist, man. That's a derogatory statement, man. You need to change that, man. They didn't do that, John Galt, you're full of shit. Let me tell you how I know I'm not full of shit. Okay? Because what are the chances that it's called blacklist? First of all, what is the chances it's called blacklist? And they changed it to deny list. Now, let me give you guys another example of how I know that's the reason that they changed. That's the only reason that they changed that. One of the projects that I sell on the Unreal Engine Marketplace, you have the ability to kill yourself, right? There's a key press that you can hit and it will kill you and let you respawn. So when I put that project on the marketplace, when I first submitted it to go through their process of getting put onto the marketplace, which is a nightmare, by the way, I had some nodes or something in there called suicide, right? And I had it wrote on one of those instruction boards in the level. It said, press this key to suicide. And then in the blueprinting process of it, somewhere in there, I had an action event called suicide player. They made me change that from suicide to respawn, right? They made me change it. I had to go through everywhere in that project that I had suicide, and I had to undo that and change it to say respawn instead of suicide. Now, if that's not some woke BS, tell me it ain't. Okay? So that's how I know that that's the whole reason why they would have changed that to that. And just as a screw you, Epic, you can blow me, I'm not changing it. So if you guys want to change it in your project that you buy, knock yourselves out. I'm not doing it. Okay? All right. So anyway, now that that rant's out of the way, so it packaged. Okay? It packaged complete. So it packaged just fine, even though it's got some of those issues. Okay. Okay. So this time around, I want to show you guys the first thing that I noticed that was different. Okay. So remember this file here that I told you had to copy and paste it? So when you open this time around, and you go into the binaries in here, hey, it's already got that file in here. Or does it? Well, I don't see it. Let me open it again. Maybe it creates it when you run it the first time. I know I seen it in here and I didn't put it in here. So let me look. Nope, I don't see it. I don't see it in here. But if I open up Steam, close this down, open this, and run it, right? Let me run it. You'll see down here, it should pop up the Steam thing, and it did. Now let me close it before I try to start this. So I'll close this down. And now let's go back in here and see if it actually put that in here. I know I seen that file in here. I don't see it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it didn't put it in here. But now let's try to actually run it. So first of all, let me say that when I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on here, I thought that it was because I had forgotten to put this in. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to run it. So we'll go ahead and run this, and we'll go to multiplayer, host game, and then we're going to hit host game. Look right here, host game failed. So this is exactly the problem that everybody that were reported that bug was having. Okay, that's the problem. So I'm going to hit Alt Tab here, and we're going to go to the task manager, and I'm going to have to kill this the hard way because, yeah, I got no menu. It black screens and that's game over. So in task, now let's go look and see if it created that file. So in the binaries in here, there it is. Look. Now, obviously you guys saw that that was not in here before. Okay. Because I looked and that Steam _ app ID, it wasn't in here. I didn't put this in here. Right? That's part of the instructions of that video I told you guys to watch, was including this in this folder. But for some reason, this one, it ain't in there when you open it, but the very first time you try to host, it puts it in here automatically. And all it is a little text document that you open up and it's got 480 in it. See that? And that is the exact same one that I copy and paste in the other projects. Okay. So that right there is odd to me. So I thought, okay, well, now let's try it. Now that it actually has that in there, let's try it again and see if that actually worked. So we open it, we try it again. We go to multiplayer, we hit host game, and see, we are connected to Steam. So all that's working. Host game. Host game failed. Broke. See? And that's exactly where I ended up at. I was like, well, hell, I don't know. So let's Control Alt Delete and let's end task on this again. This kind of stuff right here makes me so aggravated I could just die. Literally. Okay. So then I thought, okay, well, the Steam's broke. So let's see if the other part works. Remember, I told you guys you can test this without Steam. So if you exit out of Steam, okay, and you fire this up, did it not fire up? What happened? Well, maybe I broke it completely now, so that's awesome. Let's try it again. All right, there it goes. So now I'm going to hit multiplayer, and I'm going to say host game and host game. Hey, look at that. It worked. right? So we pick a female, we go on the red team, and there we are. Voila. And if I hit that P key, you're going to see that it's my computer name, which is exactly how it's supposed to work because we're not connected to Steam. And then if I Alt Tab here and I launch up another one here, multiplayer, this time find games, we'll see if we can find that server, and it'll pop it up, just it should. And we'll go male blue team, and voila, there we are. Hit the P key, there's the player list, right? It's computer name, the last digits are different. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. When you're on Steam, that'll be my Steam name and whoever joined me's Steam name, okay? Okay, so that's where I left it at, and that is what's on the UE4, the Unreal Engine Marketplace. I'm like, well, okay, so this works. The problem is that it's a bug in the engine that Epic's going to have to fix, okay? So let's go ahead and quit game here. And we will quit game here. And that's where we're at. So when I started investigating this, I thought, okay, well, it created that text file, which was weird. So I took the one that I had and replaced the one that was in here, thinking that maybe that's what it was, right? So I replaced the one that it auto creates, by the way, in here. Actually, is it gone again? It is. Look, it's gone now. Do you see that? Am I flipping losing my mind here? It's gone now. I don't see it in here. Unless I'm blind, right? I don't see it. So let's see if we can catch it doing this in real time. You guys want to try that? I didn't try that. Let's see if we can catch it. So we open up Steam. We'll get Steam running. See if that's what puts it in here. And it ain't, right? So see there, it ain't in here. And then we will open this. And we'll leave it right here. We'll Alt Tab and go see if that put it in there. Ah, look, there it is. See? It showed back up. This engine is haunted. So there it is, right? And when you open it up, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. But for some reason, it shows up and then it don't show up. And then it shows up and then it don't show up. So it was mysterious to me. So I took the one that it auto-created and replaced the one that I have on my desktop that I created, by the way. And I put that in there and tried that, and that didn't do nothing. That didn't change a single damn thing. And if we hit multiplayer, host game failed. See it? So there was definitely an issue here. So let's hit Control-Alt-Delete and let's get out of here. Okay, so it's one of these buttons. In task. There we go. So see there, that thing right there is haunted. It shows up, it don't show up. It's there, it ain't there. I don't understand what the deal is with that. That's Epic, okay? So obviously it's broken. So when it says host game failed, that's what I put in there, okay? I put that little message in there so that if for whatever reason somebody who was using this project, if it failed to host, it would let them know, hey, the host game failed, which is exactly what everybody was reporting on that bug report. Okay, so we're going to delete this. That's the packaged build right there. And we're going to go back into the project, and I'm going to show you guys how I track down a way to get it to work. Now, is this the permanent fix? I don't know. But I did get it to work. So we're going to open the project up. And we're going to go in here. And I'm the one that made it type that print string host game failed. So I started looking where that's at. Okay, now, guys, you have to buy this project. I'm not going to dig through the guts of this and show you guys how this works. Okay, so if we go into the menus, right, you see the widgets menus, where you actually mash that host game button. That's where I was like, okay, what does that do? That's what creates the session, right? So in the server settings widget, you can see right here is where the host game button is. If we go into the graph, here's what it does when you mash that button, host game. It actually goes into the game instance, which is exactly where it's supposed to go. So you double click that and that takes you into the game instance, which is where I'm at right now. So when I mash that button, this is what it does. It hosts the game, right? And this is that print string that I put in here. That's what it pops up in that upper left-hand corner when we try to host a online session. It prints this. Now, I sat here for hours trying to figure out why this wasn't working. Why is this broke all of a sudden? Okay. Now remember, the only thing that's different from the very first version that we tested, which was Unreal Engine 4.15.3, the only thing that changed is the engine version. Okay. So this version hasn't got any scripting very much different than the original version. Okay. So I was looking, and I was like, all right, well, let's start diagnosing what in the hell's going on here. So I put a print string right here, right? I just simply copied this. And I put another print string off of this pin, which is not hooked up, by the way. And I changed this and I said, this pin fired. Okay, I just wanted to know. I'm like, okay, what the hell does this pin even do? Because it's not hooked up. It's not hooked up in my old projects. It's not hooked up in any of the projects that I've ever done for Steam. This is not hooked up to anything. And it works perfectly fine. I just proved it. So when I packaged this version out, which all I did was add this print string, I noticed that it said this pin fired. And I was like, huh, okay, so what's happening here is this top pin is firing and this bottom pin is firing, but for some reason the on success pin is not firing because that is what opens the map and gets you in the game. So I said, all right, well, fine then, you piece of shit asshole. Why are you being a dick to me all of a sudden? So what I did was I took this pin and plugged it right here. Now you're going to notice that this top pin is plugged into the open level. On success is plugged in to the open level. And on failure is plugged in to this print string. That's the only thing that I did. Okay. And we'll compile that and we will repackage this that way. And I want to show you guys how fucking weird this shit gets. Okay. So we package project, put it on my desktop, and we will say go. Now it's still going to say that we need to change the blacklist to the deny list or whatever, but I'm not doing that. Okay. You guys can go in there and do that if you want to. I ain't doing it. And I'm not sure that this is the permanent fix for this. Something is broken in this engine. It's what's causing that to do that. So consider this that I'm showing right now a temporary fix. All right, so we got it packaged. We're going to close it. We have Steam open, okay? And right here is the packaged build. So we're going to open this. And we're going to, I'm not putting that text file in it, right? Because apparently it creates it if it needs it and it deletes it if it don't. So I don't understand that, but that's whatever. So we're going to go ahead and open this. And it's going to bring up our little Steam thing here, which it did that before, right? And we're going to hit multiplayer. We're going to hit host game and we're going to hit host. Voila! Now you're going to see that it still popped up that host game failed. Did you guys see that? Let me show you that one more time. So we're going to reopen this with Steam running. It's going to show us that our Steam's running. We're going to hit multiplayer. We're going to hit host game and host game. And look, host game failed. So go. It still ain't working. It still ain't working, man. Bullshit, right? So see, this is the furthest that we ever were able to get. Now, if I hit female and join the red team, well, how do you know Steam's working? Well, obviously we hit the P key and look, there's my Steam name all of a sudden. So it is working, same as it always did. Okay. Now, once again, I can't launch another version of this and connect via Steam. You have to have a separate Steam account to do that. So I can't, theoretically, I could get somebody to, I could zip this up and send it to them and we could hook up on Steam and we could test it to actually see if it really is working. But in my mind, it's got the Steam name. This is further than I ever got. It's got the Steam name showing up in the player list. I think it's working. So if I zip this up and send it to another person and they did a search, they should find that server and be able to connect, and it'll have my Steam name and their Steam name, and we'll be connected together. I'm pretty confident that that would work. So with that, we're going to go back into the project and we'll discuss this a little further, but that's the fix, right? I just showed you guys the fix. So for all you guys that have been aggravating the ever-loving hell out of me, threatening to turn me into Epic and get all my products removed because it doesn't work as advertised, meaning everything works fine except the Steam part, okay? And that was not something that I did. I didn't do that. That's an Epic Games problem, not a me problem. But since I love you guys, I appreciate my customers, and I try my best to do anything and everything I can to make sure that my customers are taken care of because I care about my integrity and my products, right? I went out of my way to try to finally get to the root of this issue. And what I have determined is that Epic Games fucked it up somehow, okay? Why? How? I don't know, but I know a way to get around it. So, in any of my projects, now I'm not going to go make a video for every damn project that I have. In this example, we're using the simple capture the flag. But for any of my projects that are on the marketplace, go into where the widgets are, right? Some of the folder structure may be a little different. Find the widgets. Okay, and find the one where the actual host game button is. And if you go into the graph, you can see right here's what the host game button does. And it jumps you into the game instance. So if you double click it here, it will take you into the game instance. Alternately, if you don't want to go that route, okay, you can go this route. You can go into the blueprints folder, under the gameplay, under the system, and find the game instance blueprint, which is right here. GIMP. So if it's prefixed with GI, that's game instance. GM is game mode. GS is game state. Find the game instance in the project, maybe in a little different place depending on which project you got. Open it. Find in the scripting in the project game instance, find where the host game is. All I did, this is what you guys are going to be looking at when you find it. That's what it's going to look like. On success, it's going to tell you that it opens the level and does all this stuff. On failure, it simply runs a print string. All I did was hook this up to here. And it works. And what's really baffling to me is that even though this works, it still fires this print string. So on failure, it's still firing as if it failed. but it works. It seems to work. Now, maybe I can, you know, if the mood hits me just right, maybe I'll get somebody to actually help me test this to make 100% sure that it's the fix, but it seems to be fixed. You guys try it and let me know. But in every single project that I have ever done, I have never hooked this top pin to anything. Ever. But for some reason, now it wants this pin hooked up. And I'd about be willing to bet you, which we might just test it, I'd about be willing to bet you that if I was to take on failure and unhook it, and on success and unhook it, and simply hook in this top pin, repackage it, I'd about be willing to bet you my left nut that it would still fucking work. Okay? So we're going to test that. And if I lose, you guys are not getting my left nut. I'm just saying that, okay? But it seems logical that all three of those damn pins are firing when you host a game now, for some reason. I don't know why. But if you don't hook the top one up, it seems like it just doesn't work at all. So maybe the on success is not firing. Maybe it's firing that top pin and the on fail pin, and it's not firing the success pin. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. How many hours you guys want to sit here and dick around and see if we can really get to the crux of the matter? I ain't got that kind of time. But we could theoretically figure out which pin it is that's actually broken. So I've still got Steam running, don't I? Yep. So we're simply just going to open this up. We're going to run it. And it shouldn't print string anything now. Let's make sure our little Steam thing comes up. Multiplayer, host game, and go. Voila. We didn't get no host game failed. It didn't show up. Why? Because I unhooked it. Okay. We hit female and voila. We check our player list. There's my Steam name. So I'm pretty confident that it's hooked up to Steam now. Why? Why did that happen? I don't know. I don't work for Epic. Okay. But I do know that as long as I've been doing this, every single time they upgrade this engine, they fuck something up every single time. And what's really hysterical about it to me is they don't even tell anybody they fucked it up. It's up to us to figure out what they changed or what they broke. Okay? And that's why it's so aggravating and so annoying to me to upgrade engine versions. That's why. And believe you me, over the years of using this engine, it's baffling to me at the amount of things that they've changed for no apparent reason, and it breaks stuff. I don't work for Epic. I don't know why they do that. I have no idea, but I know that they do. Okay, so there you go. You know, however long this video's been, I don't know. And of course, I'm going to get bitched at. People, you mean I got to watch this whole damn rant and live stream just to figure out, why don't you just tell me what's broke, man? You know what, guys? Look, there's being a game dev, and then there's being a pretend to be game dev. A lot of people like to pretend to be a game dev, and then, you know, they'll buy some template on the marketplace, and they'll show their little buddies, oh man, look what I made. And they didn't even make it. Obviously, it's a template on the marketplace that they bought. So they you know, they like to pretend to be a game dev, but when push comes to shove and you actually have to knuckle down, build something on your own from scratch, research it, develop it, build it, construct it, test it, market it, sell it, provide technical support for it, right? That is what being a game dev is. Not screwing around on Saturdays from 2 to 4 in the evening, you know, and then put some video on your YouTube page about you being a game dev, bruh. Right? That ain't how it works. So, the point of this is there's being a game dev, and then there's being a pretend to be game dev. Everybody that comes to my YouTube channel, everybody that buys my products, everyone that takes my Udemy courses are learning how to be a real game dev. Not a pretend to be. a real one. And so, you know, there you have it. Go watch free YouTube videos. Quit giving me shit over trying to monetize my channel. Go watch the free ones then. Go over to Vertus. Go over to your boy Vertus at your Learning Hub over there and watch all his free stuff. Okay? Go do that. Don't bother me. This YouTube channel has been and always will be for those who really want to learn how to game dev. Not to pretend to be. We get into the guts of this stuff. We discuss things that actually matter, right? We discuss systems, not how do you make a door open. We talk about, well, okay, well, how do you make a door open? But how do you make it work for multiplayer? But if you do it this way, well, then that's going to cause that to be an issue. So how do you deal with that, right? We build entire systems. We don't just do a little one-off tutorial like your boy Vertus does, right? Or whoever it is that you watch, okay? So with that, I think I'm going to end the rant here. I appreciate, let me bring Chad over here actually and say hello to everyone. So hello, Asman. Yes, it has been a while. And yes, 4.15 will be my favorite engine version always. But the problem is I have to use Unreal Engine 5, okay? I have to use Unreal Engine 5 because nobody thinks Unreal Engine 4 stuff is relevant anymore. When it absolutely is. It's the exact same thing. The biggest difference between Unreal Engine 4 and 5 that I can tell is, first of all, they broke fucking Steam, right? That's one goddamn thing I can tell you. And then the second thing is that it looks different. The main thing is the difference in where things are located, you know, some deprecated nodes. It might be named a little different, et cetera, et cetera. And they went more woke, obviously. So that's that. Okay, so had this tab muted, then unmuted, and hear John repeat himself. How about now? How about now? You guys, look, I have to try to keep a sense of humor about a lot of this stuff. Otherwise, I'd have stroked out 10 years ago, okay? I'd be dead in a ditch somewhere with my, you know, a brain aneurysm over being baffled as to how people can expect to learn how to do anything when they can't even follow simple instructions, right? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Hello, Mr. David Smiley. Hadn't seen you in a while, so I hope you're doing well. And, oh my God, they are so woke. Yeah. I mean, have you watched any of their live streams? It's obvious that Epic Games is woke as folk. And they have been for a long time, actually. But you know what? Hey, look, I'm not going to get into that. Everybody can do and believe what they want to believe. I'm a firm believer in capitalism, you know. And so if Bud Light decides they want to do what they did, let them go. And if the customer base doesn't like what they did, well, then they'll suffer the consequences for it. Okay? If Epic Games wants to go woke as folk, let them go right ahead. I don't watch their live streams anymore and can give a damn. Okay? So, you know, they can go do whatever it is they want to do. I'm not going to try to make them do anything. If it gets to the point where I can't tolerate to even use their product anymore, well, then that may be a different issue, right? But at this point, you know, what they do on a live stream or what node they decide to deprecate, that, you know, that's their business. I don't have to participate in that, and I'm not gonna. Okay. Okay. So, David Smiley, good to see you. Good to see you too. Asman, every time I see the word woke, I shrug. Yeah, whatever floats their boat. If they want to run themselves out of business, so be it. What do you mean nobody wants our beers anymore? This is some bullshit. Yeah, well, sometimes people have to learn the hard way. Ask Disney, right? That's another one. Ask Disney how it's turning out for them. There's a saying, I didn't invent the saying, but I've heard it said, go woke and go broke. That's one. And I've also heard somebody say once upon a time, everything woke turns to shit. Right? I believe that. That ain't to hurt anybody's feelings, right? That ain't a hate crime. I ain't trying to be hateful. I'm just saying. Just because somebody don't agree with the way that that you choose to be doesn't make them the enemy, right? If I viewed everybody that I disagreed with as the enemy to be eradicated at all costs, that would be a big bunch of people. But I don't. You know, everybody, you do your thing. I won't try to push my stuff on you. You do your thing. Don't try to push your stuff on me, and we won't have any problem. You go stay over there, take care of you and yours. I'll go over here, and I'll take care of me and mine. And if we need to communicate or talk about something, we don't have to talk about things that we disagree about. I'm never going to convince you that you're wrong, just the same as you're never going to convince me that I'm wrong. Just the same as the Democrats are never going to agree with Republicans, and Republicans are never going to agree with Democrats. Just the same as Baptists are never going to agree with Catholics, and Catholics are never going to agree with Muslims. Why don't we just quit trying to make everybody else believe that there's only one way to be? How about we do that? Right? We can do that. All right. So with that, you guys take care. This is John Galt, and we will see you in another video in another time. Have a good weekend, fellows and fellettes. There's ladies too. Fellettes. All right. So you guys take care.